What up, naughty steppers? It's Connor Whitmore here again with another video for you on the Naughty Step channel. And it's time for another first as I give you 10 of the most epic dubstep introductions. Intros that really set a scene, leave a mark, stop time in their nature, have a sense of evolution over their runtime. There are producers, of course, who are great at creating the iconic introduction, thinking of the likes of Flux Pavilion, Dr. P, 501, Barely Alive, to name but a few. Introductions that are completely memorable, but which I wouldn't say have that sense of longevity and scope that really leave you at a loss for words. But here I have 10 that do just that. Epic constructions that masterfully paint a picture in their combination of sounds, their peaks and troughs, the timing of them. Brilliant not only in and of themselves, but in setting up what's to follow in each song. So yeah, here we go. Just before we get started, make sure to stay tuned until the end, as there will be some special mentions that are almost as epic but not quite. Would love to know your thoughts on everything in this video. And so kicking off this video, we have part 1 of Kill the Noise by, yes, you guessed it, Kill the Noise. The first solo material I heard of Kill the Noise, I think it's fair to say left a serious mark on me in terms of understanding what dubstep music was capable of. This battle between human and zombie, you can hear their groans in the build whilst the clamour of "Kill the Noise" echoes in the background. Thing I love about this one is the composure in bringing in new elements. It's all so well measured, the drop always takes you by surprise. A genuinely scary listen, all the while telling a story so well with that main melody, the kind of intro that separates the great from the good in dubstep music. Next, potentially the most solemn and reflective introduction here comes from Chasing Shadows with their remix of Spores Pacifica, which just gets you right here, pulling you in with that softly throbbing beat, creeping towards the surface and keeping you in its trance, slowly emerging more and more. My favourite moment being 27 seconds in, when it's like you're standing still and everything else is moving quickly around you, rooted to the spot and helpless. Just all round, properly moving music, becomes more abrasive as the vocal enters, but never loses that somberness, really organic feel between all the components in this one particularly. I think the shortest intro here, but which arguably packs the biggest punch, comes in 16-bit sensational remix of Noisia's Machine Gun. Extremely dark and brooding, encountering the enemy with little sense of hope, they have come to destroy and will leave no survivors. The menacing pulsation underneath, the evil, tricksy percussion, the daunting horns, the heavenly yet demonic gasp before the drop. It just reeks of corruption and disorder, but is entirely fantastic in the picture it paints. The enemy assembling its troops as all the creatures prepare to unleash hell on their opponent. Absolutely epic, fam. Next we have what I find to be the most stunning introduction of the lot here. Gemini's Graduation is another that just hits a certain spot in its delivery. The direction the piano takes here is almost too much to handle in its ability to comfort you, reassuring you that everything's okay through its journey, forcing us to embrace the past whilst encouraging us to soldier on forward, gaining momentum through the strings, the kicks, the electric synths that run through it. More resurgent with vocal in tow as it pushes us on and urges us to fight adversity, but more than anything, an incredibly pure relationship between every component here. Brilliant stuff. Another properly post-apocalyptic feeling intro is the beginning to Zomboy's Outbreak album, Nuclear, which is just one fantastic development after another. From the faltering newscast opening, which sets the scene perfectly, the vibrant build enveloping you more and more over time, to the triumphant, heroic tone change, and the way it opens up with the classic Nuclear vocal sample, It just gets you so hyped for what's to follow. A very aware introduction in its switch-ups, but also in bringing that vocal in, realising that it's a VIP gives it another layer of intrigue, a great start to the track and the album. The dreamiest example here comes from Seven Lions with his track Days to Come, a wonderfully ethereal and magical track that begins just so. Out of focus initially, vulnerable in essence thanks to Fiora's vocal delivery, yet ultimately with a clear desire to make things right and repair past wrongs. The music isn't outlandish by any means, but it enthralls you through its emotion. Everything builds so well as it gradually flowers into something breathtaking. Epic in construction and again pretty moving with vocal and instrumental in this effortless dance together. It all slots into place expertly to create that idyllic feeling. The most alluring introduction in this list, I think, comes with Figure's Werewolf, which sets a perfectly fitted dramatic tone from the off. The hectic percussion and strings very much leaving listeners on the edge of their seat, curious as to what's going to happen next as the story unfolds. This one evolves so well, becoming more dramatic over time as the strings are isolated and intensify. The key change at 1 minute 30, letting us know that something gruesome is about to happen. And then the impactful
the werewolf
vocal sample just before the drop, gripping stuff, an intro that you could see being translated straight into a comic book. The track that probably stays most true to its name here is The Hero by Phonic, the intro of which is fantastic if you want to feel empowered. Holy and angelic to start as the hero looks out into the distance, the enemy awaiting as this figure tries valiantly to protect his or her people from terror. The mix of sounds here, from the electric synth licks to the huge yoys, the rapid piano, all playing off each other so well, really gears you up for anything. Appropriate, therefore, to have the phrase play just before the drop. This track will make you feel like a saviour to anything and anyone, I promise. As we've seen here, a lot of introductions make you feel a certain way, but some are slightly uncomfortable in terms of the emotion they inspire in you, and that's where Feed Me's Bloodred comes in. A tantalising feel to this one, prospective and hopeful, with the sense of a new beginning, yet simultaneously wary and frightful of something horrific looming over the horizon. Real warmth and scenic feel to this one, but you don't want to get too close. The moving lead melody very much prepares us for what's in store. Another that evolves and progresses in this really powerful way, completely riveting in its subtlety, with that moment of silence just before the monstrous first drop, a belting intro. And lastly, if you're looking for epic in terms of true scope, then you need look no further than Nero's Scorpions, a truly cinematic, panoramic intro. Completely awesome in its design, provides an idea of infinity and endlessness in the way that it's stretched out. The musicality and relationship between all the elements and sections is spot on, with that heart-rending vocal searing through as well. So much to it, revealing more and more as it progresses and evolves, like a montage of past memories, chilling, captivating and beautiful. And so there we have it for the main mentions, and now it's time to give you all a few special mentions which are still epic but didn't quite make the top 10 cut. So what have we got? We've got No Prayers by Zed's Dead, Red Heat by Schism, Gem Shards by Must Die, Sleep Tight by KV9, Sledgehammer by Savant, Unbe-fucking-leavable by Jan Waterman, Jano Partial by Major Lazer and Flux Pavilion, Omega Mode's remix of Blackout by Dr. Ozzy, Chaos by Dirty Phonics, and The Manslaughter VIP by Let's Be Friends. All of which I think you would agree are also pretty epic. And so guys, that is that for another video on the NAWTYSTEP channel, this time of 10 epic dubstep introductions. I hope you enjoyed, thank you very much, and as always, for tuning in. Be sure to leave a comment with your thoughts on these choices. They're all linked in the description down below, so give them a listen and let me know what you think. Are they indeed epic? Moreover, what are some other dubstep intros that you think are truly epic that I didn't mention here? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to give it a big old thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, hitting the notification bell along the way. For some other top 5 and top 10 videos on the channel, check out the link next to my head somewhere. Don't forget to like and follow NAWTYSTEP across social media if you haven't already, all of which is linked in the description box down below. And lastly, if it's naughty, then you know guys, so be sure as always to keep it naughty and stay safe. And I shall see all of you legends in the next one. Peace out.